Hi, thank you for joining me in another episode of Chat Sports Talk. He said, no, my name's Chad, and I take a dive into world sports. This is my Week 7 college football recap video, and kind of go over how I did my last week, or this past weekend's picks. And I'll just like to just go ahead and hit that self-destruct button. That's right. It was an abysmal week for me. It was just loss after loss after loss, and it wasn't even flipping close on a lot of these games. And I went 4-8. I reversed my last week's record. It was just a horrible outing for me. Hats off to every team that decided to use my little rant, use it as bulletin board material, and came out and proved me wrong. I'll go ahead and start off with the ACC with NC State and BC. Both these teams were both 4-1 going into this matchup. I thought they were pretty even. I think NC State has a slightly better scheduling right now because they did beat Clemson. And I thought BC could take them. I really did. And NC State said, not so fast. And pretty much blew the doors off of BC, beating the Eagles 33-7. So NC State's got my full support now, and it'll be funny to see how this season goes. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up their conference standings, so gotta see where they're at. NC State is the same division as Wake Forest. I mean, this is going to be a huge matchup later on in the Atlantic. So that'd be a fun game to watch coming up. The other ACC game I previewed was Pitt and Virginia Tech. I thought Virginia Tech would come out and take out their emotional frustrations on Pitt. Pitt pretty much said no. Pitt, I kind of haven't quite got behind them again after losing at home to Western Michigan. After going to Tennessee and beating the Vols in Rocky Top. But Pitt has come out and decided to start running amok and doing their thing. So right now they're poised to probably take the Coastal and face off whoever wins the Atlantic between Wake and NC State right now. I mean, it's still early in the season, so it's still the beginning portions of conference play, but that's what it is looking towards is a Pitt versus NC State / Wake ACC championship. Well, time will tell. Over to Big 12 country, when at that time 25th ranked Texas hosted 12th ranked Oklahoma State. I wasn't behind Oklahoma State yet. I thought Texas could probably rebound. But the questions I had, could UT bounce back? They started to. Could they hold on to the lead? Once again, they couldn't do that. They let Oklahoma State come back after pretty much dominating early. And my question is, OSU that good? Yeah, they are. They're 6-0, so they're in the top 10. They're right behind Oklahoma, so that Bedlam game should look really good. Both teams maintain being undefeated to that point. And it's just only time to tell how the Big 12 play off, because Baylor's right there behind those two with only that one conference loss to Oklahoma State. So let me look at that. And speaking of Baylor, the Bears played host to the 19th ranked BYU. BYU just came off their previous week losing at home to Boise State, so they got to try to shake that off. I really thought BYU could go in there and barely escape. The Bears had other ideas and mauled the Cougars for a 38-24 victory. So Baylor has bounced back quite nicely from their Oklahoma State loss, and they're back in the polls now. This is make the Big 12 pretty much a 3-team race, and that's one of those 3 teams could make the playoffs. I can really see that. So the Big 12 is making sure they still have a presence, I think, towards the end of the year. We're going to go to the other good team in Texas, UTSA. Home and Roadrunners played host to Rice, and it wasn't even close. It was a 45-0 beating. And now UTSA, for the first time ever, is now ranked in both polls. So congrats to Roadrunners for getting in there. Maintain that, because you still have UTEP right there, who only has one loss. UAB is no slouch either. So that Conference USA West is a 3-school race. So let's find out who's going to come up next. And that upcoming game between UTSA and UTEP should be a dandy. Then out in the Mountain West Country, I had Fresno State visiting Wyoming, where I picked Fresno State to win because they got to keep pace with San Diego State, and they shut out the Cowboys 17-0. And then Air Force went up to Boise. Boise just beat BYU, so I gave Boise a lot of credit for that. I was saying they're going to beat Air Force. They tend to beat Air Force anyways. And Air Force had other ideas. So now Air Force is now 6-1 overall. If they beat Army, they'll win the Commander in Chief Trophy for the first time in a while. And right now they're behind Colorado State in that Mountain Division, so that rivalry game with Colorado State should be very good. So there's a lot of things looking up for Air Force. So congrats to the Falcons on that one. And then we'll head over to the Pac-12, where I think the big game was for that past Saturday was 18 Arizona State visiting Utah. I thought Arizona State could go into Utah and sneak out with a victory. The Utes had something completely different, and it was able to easily exercise the Devils 35-21. So now Utah is sitting on top of that South Division, and the Pac-12 is pretty much anyone's conference, really. I think Oregon's still the favorite, but it's you don't know this conference. This conference tends to beat each other up, so they might beat each other out of the playoff picture. Then SEC, and this one was like a 50-50 draw for me. I'll start with Auburn and visiting then 17th ranked Arkansas. I didn't think Arkansas would lose 3 in a row. Nix told me they could. Nix was just total control of that Auburn offense. Just handled that Arkansas defense with no issues. And Auburn escaped with 38-23 victory, get them right in that thick of things in the SEC West showdown. Then Kentucky going to Georgia. I already knew Georgia's, like I said, Georgia's the best team in the country. Kentucky was missing some key pieces on defense. They kept it interesting for a while, but Georgia was just too much, pulled away, ended up winning 30-13. The Alabama visited Mississippi State. This is, like I said, Nick Saban hasn't lost 2 in a row in a while. I think the last time was 2013 when he lost the last 2 games of the season. And I don't, that's a long time ago. So in terms of football life, and I know he wasn't going to do it now, and they just manhandled Mississippi State 49-9 in a game that I had a lot of question marks, really. Ole Miss visiting Tennessee. There was definitely some questionable antics on there. The Tennessee fans not upset with the Ole Miss because they kind of feel that Ole Miss were faking injuries to stall a Tennessee drive. So they were throwing stuff on the field at the Ole Miss bench. So Ole Miss had to move away. Questionable antics by the referees, where a ref that looked like he was like 10-15 yards away made a call to spot the ball, which was a little weird because he didn't see exactly where the player landed, which could have been short, could not have been. So those are the review of my games. So only won 4 of those, and that was a pretty poor performance. Pretty much like the Iowa Hawkeyes, who got beat at home by Purdue. So it's one of those things. So let's go ahead and kind of look at possible playoff matchups. Another way too early look. Right now, kind of going off the polls. I'm not going to take all, I'm not taking the top 4 out of there. I'm just kind of go with the 4 I think probably finish the top 4. And 1, I got Georgia. I think Georgia won out the SEC. 2, I'm going to give it to Cincinnati. Cincinnati starting to make the moves, and they still got a big game against SMU, so that's going to be up there. Number 3, I got Oklahoma. I think right now Oklahoma's probably the best school of the 3 big ones in the Big 12, especially since now they started Caleb Williams, who is 10. It looks like he's 10 times better than Rattler right now. And then the 4th one, I think it's going to be a Big 10 school, so I'm going to give to Michigan, because they're like one of the 3 only undefeated schools right now. But that Big 10 East is loaded. You get Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, all with 0 losses. Ohio State only has 1 loss. So they're definitely right in that mix, and they all got to start playing each other. Like I said, it's just right now a forecast of looking at the current standings and projecting playoff position. So things will definitely change as the season progresses, as more of these big time conference matchups face off, and anyone can beat anyone. Right now, don't test. And if you look at this past week, some things you look at, don't trust Texas. The Longhorns have shown that they can't hold onto a lead and like to call things up. Oklahoma State seems legit. NC State should be a good powerhouse in the ACC. UTSA right now could beat that sleeper. Right now, they're 7-0. And Mount West should look pretty good towards their end. The Big 12, you have the 3 schools right now in the league. The Big 10 East is a power keg. SEC West right now is going to be a dogfight. So there's a lot of exciting things and matchups coming up the next few weeks with college football, and it'll be exciting to watch these upcoming games. So hopefully next week I can do much better and pick some actual winners next week. Get that video out to you on Friday for the Saturday games, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Which game surprised you? Which games you're looking forward to in the coming weeks with the college football? While you're there, go ahead, smash that thumbs up for me. Give me a like. You can also subscribe. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Once you hit that bell notification, let you know next time I post a video. I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.